Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. What is this stuff? Good. Which might be hold on. Maybe repeat that. Twitch may be being an asshole right now. Good English. Okay, so welcome to the stream. And tonight we are continuing the Fallout 4 cosplay progress. And we're going to be painting the combat armor. I can't get everything into frame here. But other simple, hopefully simple, should be simple airbrush stream today. And we're going to be painting 3 pieces of armor and one other device. So the Minutemen General's uniform has a set of combat armor underneath the frock coat, and I made this a couple weeks ago. This is based off the SKS patterns, and there's the cod piece here was not part of set pattern, so I had to craft this myself, craft the pattern and everything. And then we also got this is another little stopgap thing. This is a radio that the Minutemen wear. It's not good, but it's a stopgap. And so that's what we're painting, and then we're eventually. Actually, I'll save this for last. So, for primer, we're going to go down the list of what we're going to be using. For primer, I'm going to be using Vallejo primer. I am going to go metallic next. I'm going to try out this bright gunmetal by Spaztics. I really should be using a gloss black for this, but there's a lot of space to cover, and I do not want to blow through the Spaztic Ultra Gloss primer I have too. So we're gonna stick with Vallejo primer. Second coat is gonna be the bright gunmetal. See how that looks. And then for the white, gonna be using the solid white backer here. And then we have time. I'm gonna get to using these rust effects because the thing is really rusty, according to the references. Just about like everything else in Fallout 4 is really rusty. So those people are probably dying more from tetanus than raiders. We also got a few other supplies here, and actually before I start, I should have brought over my little tote. Maybe toast not the right word, but here's all my dry brush stuff. All in here. And we're going to be needing to dry brush the rust effects. So, this is, so to go over this a bit more, this was done with the SKS props patterns. I've mostly followed the tutorial to the T. Except I'm not making fake leather straps out of the foam. I'm just going to be using marine vinyl. It's made out of 10mm foam and a lot of 6mm foam from him. There's some format stuff still in there, and I also have a few more parts too. I got a bunch of these rings for the straps, and these are gonna be. I'm gonna coat these with XTC 3D. And about when I do that, I'm gonna be Well, by the time I do that, I'm going to make a much better one of these in a modeling program and then 3D print this and sand it, maybe coat it, do a good job with this, along with that one buckle that they have on the belt. And I'm going to find a way to incorporate this little tiny speaker into the little radio box. Not this one, but the eventual one. So that's the plan. That's the mindset going forward. So we could just jump right into this. Hydrate first. Actually, because I have some pretty big pieces, I'm going to set up a TV dinner tray off to the side here. A couple other random boxes up so I can keep these propped up and off the table as they're drying. The respirator's coming on. Get a bit more water before I start. Can never be too hydrated. Now, I forgot to mention when I sealed this and primed it originally, it was with Mod Podge. It's not my preferred method and probably not the preferred method of a lot of people, but admittedly, it's really fucking hot outside. And there's my schedule just doesn't line up to like a very early morning where I could do something where I can spray this with a pasta dip. So we're gonna have to roll with it. Actually, here's my phone. I want to see like if I need to move my camera around because this is just a big piece. Alright, there's a little hopper. And can my bitrate get any worse? Yeah, it seems like I'm eternal. I've been, ever since I got back into streaming, my bitrate has been garbage. Oh, I gotta adjust this mask. It seems like really tight on the bottom for some reason. Not up top. Now we can get going. Maybe a bit too close to the brim up here, but we're gonna breeze through this. Oh, doesn't the yo-yo need like lower PSI? I'll just decrease it down to 30. Oh, not any of it's coming out. Right. Oh, back up to 40. But the edge seems good. One thing I really should be having by now is one of these like humidity filters for the airbrush. I feel like living where I do, I should probably have one of those by now. I got a little debris. Yeah, and another reason I didn't want to bring this out into the hot sun is because I had to use hot glue for some of this. I used super glue for most of it. But there was just some areas where there was just so much surface area I wouldn't have needed to glue. That it was too much for super glue. And I really don't like I have contact cement, but I only live in an apartment, so I can't just be using that whenever. I did eventually use it to put the Velcro on the back here, but that was only when I was like pretty much done for the night. Reloading. Okay. One section I need to get in. Get this little pocket area here. Even though it's probably not going to get seen. Alright, I'm trying to be good with trying to capture what I'm doing on camera here, but this piece is just big. Alright, I'm gonna leave this left section for now. Actually, let's do this part here. I have to reload. So I'm going to leave this putt open for now, and I'm going to come back. So once this putt's dry, I can grab that part as I'm painting this. The chest is done for now. Trying not to get put too much in there because a lot of times I put way too much in the hopper. I goofed, let's say, and I got a lot of spilled paint. Now, even though I did want this to be competition ready, I didn't go whole ham on the back. Like, there's a lot of the corners here. I didn't like bevel off or anything, and the underside here, again, I could have jumbled it. I decided not to. Yeah, this is just going to be underneath the frock coat. I don't think anybody's really gonna see it, but I don't even know if it's even there, to be honest. But because the chest piece and the cod piece are from the combat armor set, I can only assume that the back piece is there as well, at least. So I still gotta make it. It's just not gonna look as good as it could be. The section here that doesn't seem to want to accept the paint is like pulling away from the side. Yeah, like right there, that's weird. Oh, I can see it. At least it's happening on the back and nowhere else. I did the Mod Podge like a couple of days ago, so I assume it would have dried already. If it is, you know, a Mod Podge reaction. Definitely want to go over it. The second coat seemed to have covered it. That was weird. Alright, so this part is done for now. Again, I'm going to leave the left side open. Next up is the card piece. A little bit more primer in there. Hey, that gets the time. Well. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm still putting effort into this piece, if it's just a stopgap, and I'm probably gonna get the next one, like the real one, out like only in a few days. Frankly, because I already made it. And because I already did make it, or built it rather, I want to see it through, and then maybe when I'm done with everything else, I could, maybe sell it. For a few bucks. Or maybe use it for like an extra piece. For an extra Luna costume. If I ever get like a friend to do like Preston with me. I'm gonna get tagged by somebody. Yeah. Okay. Oh, something I forgot to do is kind of the inside here. I'm not gonna do the whole inside. I just want to like get like this area here. I know my light doesn't really reach up there. There's this whole like area here. It's not going to be seen, but it's going to be best if I still get that painted here. Sorry, some of this is going to be off frame because of the awkward angle here. I'm running low. Yeah, that might just be bubbles down there. But it looks fairly covered though. So this part's done. Back to the back. I haven't been cleaning the nozzle throughout this, so I think I have a bit of a jam. Maybe not a jam, but definitely stuff forming around the nozzle here that's prevented it from coming out easily. Nope, I have a jam. Alright, it's coming out normal. Alright, this part is done for now. I got some cleaner on the tip here. Yeah, it's still coming out a bit weird. It might just be the humidity. This part's good. Alright, so as we wait for and to cure a bit more, and really clean this brush. Nothing happened out of there, huh? Yeah, look at that. It was just like bubbles. Probably what was causing the issue. That should be good. This is just about clean. I clean the outside of the nozzle too. Alright, put that aside. I am actually gonna do a bit of a trick here. So, I'm gonna run and get my hairdryer, and I'm gonna do a bit of a trick. These things look like they're about dry, but just want to be sure. And I'm just gonna blast it with a hairdryer. I'm gonna cut webcam for a quick second. And refill on Q-tips. You plugged in. No, there's still actually some spots of this that are still wet, which I'm gonna blame on humidity. Alright, that's one. Alright, sorry for the noise if it's loud. I think I'm gonna stick with the low setting. Yeah, there was a spot in the corner here. I don't know if it was picked up on camera or not. Cool about this paint, it really does get pretty matte. when it dries, so it's a really good indication of when you're doing something like this. Little tiny parts here that still feel wet or tacky. Alright. Say that's just about just few problem areas should finish drying by the time I get around to it with the other paint. Get this out of the way. And there's a few parts on here that haven't dried completely yet either. There's some stuff in the deep crevice here, right inside the corner there, that still looks still glossy, so it looks still wet. Alright, not the most dry, but we'll move along with it because that's going to be like my a gripping point. So by the time that gets around, right in that spot with the next color that should be dry. Onto the cod piece. That is done. Alright. This part should be done. So we can move on to the next paint step. And we are at an hour and 2 minutes. And more paint in here. And need more soon, as I am low. No, I'm so unsure about this color. I mean, even if it's not exact, it's going to get covered in a lot of all the weather and the rust and shit. I was in the store earlier and I just couldn't find a color that was close to it. So I'm using this Spastic bright gunmetal. So it should be lighter than like a lighter color than normal gunmetal, and that might be on the spot. But if it's not, it's gonna be under so many other layers of paint that it should be, you know, a good close enough, a good approximation. The Spastic does require me to go down to 20 psi. It says 15 to 20. But I really don't have a whole lot of luck with anything 20 or below. So always have to set my compressor to like 25. That has like a good number. Now this has a cap. Of course it does. Or not cap, like protection seal. Alright, now we can get going. Oh, it's fine. Oh, it's light gunmetal. Even without the, like a gloss black backing, I think it's coming about at just right, at the right color. Remove OBS. Yeah, something close to it. So this might have been a good choice. It's also going on like really smooth too. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good color. could work on my spraying a bit more. Sorry again, more awkward angles. Getting this little undersection here. Oh, finally out. Stuff goes a pretty long way, huh? Another awkward spot. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this in one shot instead of just grabbing it from one side. I don't know if it's the exact shade, but it is a really nice shade, nice metal color. I might have to resort to this a bit more. Also, these Spastics paints, they're a bit pricey, but man, have they been worth it. This is not their intended application by any means.
I mean, the color might be better if I, you know, hit this with a gloss primer, but I'm not doing that. Again. Now this one may need a part two. There's nothing really to grab on the back. Back to the card piece. This look should be drying faster than anything else. Or at least the primer. Gonna get right into the part 2. And not quite. So probably gonna take a few minutes. It's still attacking a couple of areas, but what are you gonna go? Go ahead with this. Okay, part 2 at the back is done. Part 2 of the card piece is done. Yeah, I'm gonna press my luck with this. Okay. Didn't quite work that way, or work out what I had in my head. Right, and that didn't mess up anything. I don't think it did. Alright, so that's it for the silver. Or not the silver. Definitely not silver. For the bright gunmetal. Thank you, Spastics. Ah. The air hose is all over the place there. Ooh. And what's good about some of these really thin paints is that they clean up pretty easily. I'm so happy my hobby store started to get a lot of this stuff in. I love my Tamiya stuff and all, that's like my go-to, but like Spastic and All Clad, all very good paints. But yeah, there's a weird period with my hobby store, because when I first moved here, they had only like Tamiya Model Masters, and Citadel. They probably had a bit more at the time too, I just never noticed. So they probably had Tamiya as well as, oh yeah, I said Tamiya, I meant Testers. Testers enamel. And eventually they stopped with the Games Workshop paints, the Warhammer paints, Citadel. And they didn't have a whole lot, then out of nowhere, they started to get in. They slowly started to get in the Vallejo paints, which I had a bit of a rocky start when I tried them out originally. But they turned out to be very good paints. I must have got like a bad old bottles from them when I tried Vallejo originally. It wasn't from the shop. But now they have full like rows and not cabinets, shelves of Vallejo now. It's so good. And testers kind of went to shit a bit. And as soon as testers went to shit, I mean, it killed a lot of the Model Master line, a lot of the enamel colors. That's when Vallejo was starting to really go in. So we lost like testers, but we gained Vallejo and Spasta. Which is a really worthy thing because like the testers Model Masters like acrylic, even though the stuff was pre-thin, was not always the easiest to work with. I think the other day when I was trying to like paint with like a yellow or orange on stream, I forgot what part of the Pip-boy that was. It was very thick, not very runny. Not like this stuff, which is just like very good right out of the bottle. Let's see, I think they also have an Army Painter brand, and I think like, and Mr. Hobby brand, which I haven't tried either of those out yet. Army Painter just seems like it's a bit too pricey. And Mr. Hobby, I never, because it's Japanese, I never figured out the
ratio for thinning it. And I wasn't sure if it was pre-thin, so I never really touched the stuff. Ooh, and it still smells like spastic. Also need to take that glove off too, because that was... hand's getting all sweaty. Trying to get my hand to air out and give the paint a few more minutes here. So this does feel tacky still in some areas. I'm not sure if I want to rush. It says recoat within 1 hour or additional 48 hours. Alright, so I'm gonna do the hair dryer method here. To move this along. So it's already 1:30. Not 1:30, yeah, it's 7:04 p.m. right now. One thing I really wanted to get done today, and we could perhaps leave this for the second day or part 2, is because there's going to be a lot of brown I'm going to have to cover. This stuff is very, very rusty. Actually, you know what? Let's do some reading. Yeah, so this is a little neat rust kit. Comes with all the colors you're going to need for a realistic rust. Probably not going to be needing all, what, 8 of these colors? Does it come with the... Alright. Create chipping and start of the staining and streaking process. Start with model color, German camouflage black brown. This. Yeah, okay. It does. And dependent on the base model or preference, model color chocolate brown can be used instead of the German black brown. So black brown and chocolate brown. We're probably going to use the chocolate brown for this. Because a lot of the rust in Fallout is definitely very brown. So I should write this down, huh? Oh, put it on my phone. And Choco brown. And step 2 is in the back here. To accent the chip and rust transition, Panzer Ace's light rust is applied with a fine tipped brush. What was that? 7301. Oh, that's 30. Oh, that's dark rust. And here's light rust. I assume this is like the bright orange rust that you see. And is auto color. Okay, starts the staining of the chipped areas as well as blending the previous step. Staining, we use bright colors, and this is the orange brown. And Guy right here. I think this acts as a wash. And orange rush rust. This guy too. Bright rust stain is applied over the chipped area around the chip onto the base paint while fresh. The wide damp brush is again to use to stump and blend the stain. It's best to work in a small amount of time and always keeping the stump and brush clean and damp to wet. To dampen wide flat brush. Okay, so this is a bit more complicated than just layering on paints. Same used two colors. Water is used to thin them in order to create rust stains in corners where water has pooled and rust has stained the paint. This can be applied with a brush or surrounding area and using a fine tip brush, airbrush at low level, at low pressure. Here the pressure was 15 psi, but this may vary depending on your airbrush compressor. Create a fresher rust. Wood 77 21077. This guy can be used with either a brush or airbrush, as was done with the other bright rust tones in the same manner as the previous bright colors. The airbrush technique is also well for pre-stain the streaking. Okay, I see what they're doing. Doing it very light with this color. Alright. For streaking and staining the light and dark colors. 798. 7981, that was the orange, and 872. The chocolate brown can be used as well, mixing a different shade of rust color. This is lightly thin and can be applied with a round or flat brush. It is a good idea to do random colored streaks. Streaking technique is the same as one used in oil paints. It's also important to not overdo this and keep the stain streaking and subtle. Further staining can be done. Okay, so they like really thin this and then just streaking it down, so, okay. And smaller or more precise streaking can be done with the German camouflage black brown and chocolate brown. Here we use the dark rust. Using a round brush, rust, and a dampened brush, flat brush, stop making the vertical line. And before the paint dries lightly in a vertical motion, draw and blend the streak up, down or up. Be sure to wet and remove paint and excess water before and after each blending. The top of the streak where the chip is can be further stumped with the dry, damp brush to blend the streak color. Okay. I'm going to have to be reading this when I do this. So this whole thing is going to be a stream in itself. So what I'll probably do is end the stream after I get the white on. It says here, the final step is to apply a thin layer of staining which will help blend all the previous colors. And this step could be done with or instead of using streaks staining in step 5. Both give a more layered effect in depth. Use a small amount of light rust wash 505. This guy. Small amounts of rust are worked into the stains already applied. For a streak and flat brush is used with a small amount of wash, and the stain is applied in downward motion. Any excess can be removed with the flat brush. Now that's a lot. That's a lot to learn, and I'm definitely going to be resorting to this guide when we're doing it. I'm already getting some ideas of how I want to do the application here. That's going to be like a whole other stream in itself. Might even be 2 streams. Okay. Okay, let's see. Right, this. So this does feel nice and dry. But before I go ahead and apply frog tape to these edges, I am going to hit it up with some... with a hair dryer here. Just to be sure. And one thing I probably want to do here is I'm going to want to slice up the yellow tape into nice clean cuts or nice straight edges. I'm going to grab my pith. Much longer than. And what I like to do in cases like this, I like to do a very thin application of tape. We'll cut these into very thin strips. They're easier to pull and allow me to be much more precise than if I just went in with thicker strips off the bat. Especially helpful when going around like rounded edges. And then I'll go and start cutting. Next time I cut some, it'll be in thicker strips. And they'll get getting thicker until I'm comfortable enough to just start ripping off pieces of it directly from the roll, and then do that in combination with paper towels to mask off the rest of it. A bunch of the strip left over. think after this outer application, I can start ripping off nice big chunks. Cover that little spot there. And these extra strips I'll save. That's good. Oh, it's not taking off paint, that's for sure. That means this stuff is good to go. Okay, I'm gonna start infusing this with some paper towels. And I'm not gonna waste the yellow on this anymore. Even though I might have to use a bit more yellow. I have like a 3-pack of these, so I'm and only one pack of the yellow, so I kind of have to like balance what I have here. Speaking of, I'm also getting very low on my blue tape. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use some yellow tape just to cover up some of these gaps here. Ah. Alright, one more corner. Now, one other technique I'm going to try to do is that when it's wet, I'm going to like wipe away a corner. Or an indent. And try to make it look like it's faded. It's on SKS's prop video. On his tutorial of this, he kind of did something like that. And it makes a bit of sense. So I am gonna do the same. Good thing no football fans are watching. I don't want to be accused of being a Dallas Cowboy fan. With this big ass star in here. Alright, we're just about at the end of the night. And this bit of white to go through. And we are done with part 1. Does this have a PSI? Reading? It does not, so I'm gonna have to assume that it's at a higher rating. Wow, excuse me. Okay, that's good.
I just brought it back up to 40. 40 PSI. More than enough. May need a bit more. Just to be sure, I can always pour it back into the bottle if needed. So I'm going to try the wipe away thing, like right off the bat. Now, I don't know if that worked or not. Well, yeah, it looks distressed enough. So, it should be fine. If this ends up being too bright of a white, it's gonna get darkened. I am a bit worried. I'm seeing some yellow tape on this edge that might have got some white under it. Hoping I'll be able to get this off in all one, like, fell swoop motion here, but because I failed at that. Okay, no problem. I didn't get under it. Probably went too heavy with the white, because typically with, at least how I perceive these stuff like this on military stuff, is that it's always like spray paint on, and how I did this with the airbrush, it doesn't look like that. It looks too full, I guess, for a to be like a, what should we call it? And to be a be like spray paint. So what I'm gonna try to do now is I'm taking the cleaner here, the airbrush cleaner. I'm gonna see if I can just like I don't know if this is gonna do anything, and maybe try to lift off some of the paint. Or that shit just might be on there. Yeah, I'm afraid with any sort of like physical damage, I might like pierce it. I'm trying to find a way to like distress it a bit though. I don't know, it seems like I'm getting some distressing by just using a leather punch here. My broken ass leather punch. I'm kind of just like lightly like scratching the surface, and it's kind of removing a bit of the paint. I really don't know if that's even being seen. I could see it physically. Yeah, you can kind of see what I'm doing here, so yeah, let's get at least some stress in on it. some distressing. So, gonna clean up here, and that's gonna be it. Get out of the way. Problem with cleaning white out of an airbrush is that it kind of comes out transparent and you can't really see when it's actually clean or not. There's like this recess. Two recesses around the base of this tube here. Kind of that. It's kind of a real pain in the ass to clean sometimes. Okay, the hopper is clean. That just leaves the brush itself. At least I have some, like, black printed newspaper here I could, do this on. I think that just about did it. Oh, I did that. I do that to leave a little bit of the paint on the nozzle so paint won't ever
build up there. So the brush would be ready to go at a moment's notice for the next time. And before we go and talk about next time, just go on all the way. It was sitting at a weird angle, the cat was. Anyway, let's go over what we've done. So we got the base colors on. We got the primer done. We got the white star. We got the primer. Black primer. We use this bright gunmetal for this color. And then we use the solid white for the star. So this part is finished for now. Then we got the back piece done as well. I don't think this is fully dry. Some of the areas seem a bit tacky, but that's fine. I didn't hit this with the whatever. It's gonna get dry eventually. So this is done as well. I think the color came out pretty well. I don't think it's exact. Maybe that's that little voice in the back of my head telling me no, it's not good. It's not proper. But I think it's good. And then here's the cod piece. And lastly, the Minutemen radio box here. So, that's it. Thanks for... not yet. So this weekend is 4th of July weekend, and I'm probably going to be working throughout it. 4-day gauntlet here for Uber. So I'll probably try to stream next Monday when we're going to do part 2 of this. When we're going to start experimenting and applying the stress kit. That said, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for everyone who's tuning in, keeping up with this. I really do like the cosplay streams here, and I might be doing this a lot more to try to build my brand, so to speak, or whatever term you want to use there. And I hope all my fellow Americans have a good day off tomorrow, and if you're England, have a happy work day tomorrow. I will catch you all next time. Stay tuned to Twitter for my next stream announcements, and I will catch you all later, and have a good 4th and a good weekend. I'll see you all later. Peace.